Hello fellow Magic players and welcome back to another in-depth deck tech. This deck is simply titled Abzan Enchantress. Now I know I've done a Tayam deck before on this channel, but I figured I'd rehash it, kind of make a couple of upgrades, and make another video on it, simply because I enjoy playing this commander, and I figured what the heck, may as well go with it. So this is an Enchantress slash Reanimator deck in the Abzan colors white, black, green. We're looking to play a bunch of enchantments, get payoffs with different creatures and such, and then flood the board with a bunch of tokens and swing out for the win. Early game strategy is to land your cheap, efficient payoff creatures like Destiny Spinner, which makes our enchantments and creatures uncounterable, Mesa Enchantress, and Verduran Enchantress, I guess, if you want to throw both of them in, which I did. We draw cards for enchantments, and then obviously Sithis Harvest Hand. Wouldn't be an Enchantress deck without it. We are going to draw cards and gain life with that on the field. The other early game strategy here is to fill the graveyard to be able to use Tayam to the fullest. We're going to use Nyx Weaver, Solitary Confinement, and Perpetual Timepiece to finish that out. Mid-game is pretty simple. We're just going to flood the board with a bunch of creatures, aim to remove certain pieces that people might be playing against us, and then win out through combat. Flooding the board is pretty simple to do using cards like Hunting Grounds, Archon of Sun's Grace, Felidar Retreat, and Sigil of the Empty Throne, as well as controlling the board with cards like Aura of Silence, Kenrith's Transformation, and Darksteel Mutation. I didn't put any combos in this deck, even though there are plenty that could be in the deck. Certainly with white and black, there's a lot of Reanimator combos and stuff like that. I probably could have put in the Leonin Relic Warder Animate Dead Corpse Knight combo. Chose not to for this one, simply because I wanted to keep this one as a straight combat payoff deck, and that's exactly how we're going to win. It is through combat. I've got the old Elesh Norn in here to pump our creatures, and we can use Sigil of the Empty Throne with Hallowed Haunting and make a whole bunch of angels with a whole bunch more enchantment creatures, making our board really interesting to deal with, especially using a card like Sterling Grove, which gives all of our enchantments Shroud, so if we turn all those into creatures, they just can't be touched. Well, for the most part anyway. The price point on this one is a little more expensive than last week's. We're at $177.95, and I do try to keep these updated in price as often as I can. I actually just updated that to the cheapest this morning, and that was what it came down to. Final thoughts on this deck: it's definitely more of a standard type of deck as compared to the last one. The general theme is pretty easy. You can kind of see it all on the card. We want cheap, efficient enchantments or creatures, or, well, really permanents. 3 or less is what Tayam cares about that, and keywords, or counters, I guess, doesn't have to be keywords, that we can remove and then bring back stuff. The Enchantress theme really has a lot of support in recent Magic history. I don't know how much it had before I started playing, but at least in the past couple of years for sure, it's definitely gone up. And the price for this one isn't too high. Could use some upgrades in the removal package. You know, we've got a few decent pieces, but I'm sure there are definitely more we could throw in if you want to spend a little bit more. But that's pretty much all I've got for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys Sunday for another Magic the Rambling episode. Take care of yourselves until then. Have a good one.